Hey everybody, you know me, it's Paul with Washington Pro Carpet Cleaning. Hope you're all doing well. I sped this up just a little bit so that the video wouldn't exceed uh, more than about 20 minutes, I think. And this is a white, off-white Berber. It's the kind of Berber that has those little brown flecks, like almost like a tweed. But anyway, this is the family room, and it has a few steps that go down, which I'll finish at the end of the job with the Auric Orbiter or the handheld polisher. Haven't decided yet. But you could see where the bed was, basically where I put the rotary machine there. There are some shadows coming through the windows. I apologize for that. It's hard to, shadows will cast all kinds of crazy stuff. It looks like spots or wear or stains, but it's not. So I'm pre-spraying everything pretty heavy in here with the Green Dragon, and it'll break down all the soil, mainly where I'm standing. The entry there, and then that side, the back side over there, where where they would get in and out of bed, more so than the area closest to us in the video. And again, the shadows are kind of wreaking havoc on this video, but what can you do? It's pouring rain out there today too, which is unusual. So I'm going to get the pad driver put on the machine, and we'll use the Iron Man pad today. And this is a rather big job. This is just the lower level. I'm going to go wet the pad as well and wring it out, just to help kind of break down some of the soil down in between the little Berber tufts, where the Iron Man has those little kind of bumpy ridges, which will help get down in there and clean all that soil out. There you go. I decide whether I'm going to wet the pad or do it dry. 9 times out of 10, I'll probably do it dry, and I'll spray down a little more solution. Because I'm using the work sprayer, I can get a lot of it down. And then by the time I'm halfway through the room, the pad is already moist from picking up that first part. So it just depends. But on this one, I wanted to wring it out, wet it, wring it out, and then go over it. We'll see how it looks. If I have to get a dry pad and come back, I will. I'm going to be concentrating obviously over here on this area, and I'll get a couple angles and I'll show you what happens to Berber. If you take your fist and you make a fist like you're going to punch someone and put it out in front of your face so you can see it, it looks like a little round ball. That's what the Berber layers. There's a bunch of those little balls or little tufts weaved together. And when I used to do steam cleaning, if you're looking at the fist and you turn it kind of angling to the side, you could see where your fingers are folded in. Same thing with those little circular tufts on the Berber. When I steam clean it, the water would go down into those little creases in between the bubble there. And sometimes when you pre-spray it, you get the solution goes in there, and then it doesn't start to seep back out until later, and when it comes back out, it can actually cause a browning. But here you don't have that. But what's going on over here where I'm working is, if you take your fist and you look at it, if we put a whole bunch of fists all together and make a carpet out of it, and you walk on one side like this here where they entered in along the side of the bed, where your knuckles are, they'll start to flatten out. If you open your fist a little bit, open it until it's flat, and then imagine the other side where the bed was, it's still going to be nice and firm, have a nice round shape, as opposed to where you walked and you mashed down that tuft or that bubble or that fist. It flattens out and it stays flat. It doesn't, over time, it's natural wear. That's one of the things with Berber carpet is eventually, especially if you have white carpet, it's more noticeable. in the traffic lanes or like this area, because when you flatten something out and there's, imagine, oh, I don't know how to explain it, but if you think of it as marbles, if you put a square marble next to a round marble and you shine the light on it, the round marble is going to reflect the light differently. The flat marble is going to pick up more shadowing. So that's kind of what happens, is you get that natural wear, natural shadowing. It'll definitely be clean, no problem or issues with that. And as it dries, I'll try and show in this video if I can at the end. When it dries, it actually lightens up even more. So, and we'll take a look at that. And again, it looks like I'm using a jackhammer there, but it's just, I hold it so gently and just let it rotate and move on its own that it kind of gets a little bit of a bounce. And then of course, if you speed the video up, it looks a lot worse than it is. Totally normal though for a rotary machine, I believe. And I've got a couple of jobs today. I got my partner doing three jobs. He's actually using the Koblenz 13-inch, and I can't get him to film any footage. He doesn't like to do that, so I'm not going to pressure him. I mean, I'm not paying him to do video, so that's not a problem. But I would like to be able to get some video of the new machine I got, but it's just so much easier for him to use that than to use this. And the Koblenz is also a rotary machine, so, and he can use this machine, but it's just easier for him to load the smaller one. He's using my Ford Escape SUV. It's all white. I throw the magnets on it for him so that, people know who he is when he pulls up in the driveway. And obviously my insurance, I told them that since I hired a guy, put my car insurance on my SUV, which is actually for personal use, as business commercial insurance. And it doesn't cost much money. It was like maybe $12 more a month than what it was just to have the regular. But anyway, I'll be featuring some videos with the other machine here pretty soon. This one was pretty nice though to get through this house, although it's a split level house and the house is in Washington. Wait, take a look at that pad. I'll try and show some contrast here from the backside, even though it's starting to come through. I'm going to flip it over and I'm going to go back over the dark areas there just for prosperity's sake. But the homes in Washington up where I live, they have those, you pull up in the driveway and then there's a balcony type thing that goes up to the door if it's a split level home. So you got about 12 or 13 wooden steps to the front door, or you can go through the garage like I've done here and do all of the lower areas and then pull the equipment upstairs and do the upstairs last. So that's what I'm doing in this house. It does have, gosh, I think it's 5 bedrooms, a den, 2 living rooms, a dining room, a long hallway. This is I believe a Navy captain, and he had a couple roommates that stayed here, and they tend to go out on the submarine and get deployed for long periods of time, so there wasn't a whole lot of wear and tear on the carpets, which is nice. I'll kind of show you here. Let me get from an angle. You can see that's all shadowing from the window. Let me try to come over here and get a different angle and show you with the light. It's gonna fight me, but it did come out beautiful. And I'll show you at the end. It'll lighten up a little more. Maybe I can shut those windows. I'll have to take a look and see. Here I'm going to do the second. This is like a entertainment room. There's a wet bar in there. And this one's not bad at all. You can see I have the window open. I'm just going to spray it lightly. and whip right over it. It won't take, it won't take a whole lot of effort. I will say, if you're getting into the business, don't overcomplicate things. Try and keep things simple. I mean, the way I do it, pretty much, I have the machine, the floor machine that's going to do the cleaning. I have Iron Man pads, pretty much, that I use all the time. I have other pads, but my go-to would be the Iron Man. Green Dragon, chemical, safe, biodegradable, no Vox. It's affordable, and it's safe on all fabrics. Wool, I can use it on upholstery, everything, stairs, whatever I want to do. So I'll carry a 6-pound jar of that with me. You see I'm using a simple bucket, and that way I can fill it up, mix it up, see what's going on in there, make sure there's no debris. And then I just drop the hose from my work sprayer in the bucket. And you don't have to bring everything in. I've seen some of these guys, no offense to them, that they're doing their thing. Hey, let them do it. But when you bring everything into someone's home, including your lunch and an energy drink, it's like, man, you're setting up camp. I'm trying to get to my next job. I will take the time that's needed, when it's appropriate. This room's almost virtually snow white clean to begin with. They didn't really use it that much. So I will touch every area. I did pre-spray every area. So I'm cleaning, I'm sanitizing, and you'll see the pad will come out pretty dirty. But you don't have to go into a clean room and do a 2-foot space, go all the way across slowly, spend 30-40 minutes in a room. You can, if that's your thing, but me, I just try to make it simple. I ask the customer when I book the job if they would please vacuum. I send them a link. I say, hey, I'm going to text you when we hang up, and I'm going to send you a link to my frequently asked questions page on my website. Excuse me, got the hiccups. And that will explain some of the stuff, like what form of payment do we take? Do you need to be home while we're there? Leave an empty space in your driveway for me. Make sure all the lights are on. I want to be able to see so I can clean. So and I ask them, I say, the day of the appointment, I text them and let them know I'll be there confirming the appointment, and ask if they took a chance to briefly review the frequently asked questions so they're ready for the appointment. And 9 times out of 10, they say yes. Just like these guys, they vacuumed. They had an empty spot in the driveway. All the lights were on. Windows drawn back, just certain things, and I tell people, I don't move furniture. I could send you a copy of the link if you wanted to see, or maybe I'll just put a copy of the link. It's on my website, WashingtonProCarpetCleaning.com. It's the frequently asked questions page, but it makes things simple because here I didn't have to bring a vacuum in. And I can tell. I'll put my foot down and rub it across the carpet. They didn't have no dogs or nothing, so why go through that extra step? That's an extra hour in a house this size. So they've done that for me. Watch this door. Is that a ghost? Oh my gosh. Freaky. Look at that. And then you can hear noise or something around the tripod. That was strange. It'll happen again here in a moment. Keep your eyes peeled. But anyway, by keeping it simple, I'll come in, I fill my bucket up, I have one chemical, I put 8 scoops, which is 16 ounces in the 5-gallon bucket, and I put warm water in there. I got my gun, I got my equipment ready, I spray, I do exactly what you see me doing. And then when I'm done with everything, like when I'm done here, I'll take this equipment, I'll put it out, I'll put my pads in a dirty laundry bag I have in my van, and I only bring in what I'm currently using, and I take out the items that I'm done with. Look, here comes that door again. What in the world? Freaky. Anyway, what I'm saying is, if you can make the job twice as hard, spend all day. I see some of these guys when they say, "Hey," they do videos and they say, "That's it. Thanks for watching." And you look outside and it's pitch black out there. Not me. I gotta beat the sun home. I gotta beat the sun. I'm gonna be done. I'll book a 9 o'clock, an 11 o'clock, and a 1 o'clock for myself, and that's it. And then I do some of the afternoon stuff for the guy that I got working with me. If people have to, they get off work or whatever, and they want a 5 o'clock appointment or 6 o'clock appointment, he's out doing that. He's using my SUV, and the Koblenz. And he also has the white Auric Orbiter that I have. So I have the black Auric, so I can do stairs if I need it as well. And the way I trained him is the same way. You can bring, if you're doing a 3-room or a 2-room home, go in, fill your bucket up. If it needs to be vacuumed, obviously yes, but on my frequently asked questions, it will say, please notify me 24 hours in advance if I need to vacuum for you. So that way I know and I can judge my time accordingly. But if not, you go in, you could pre-spray the 2 rooms, the hallway, the 3 rooms, whatever. Take your stuff outside, put it back in the van, the bucket and the sprayer, that is. Then bring your machine in, your pads, go over it. And when you're done with that, remove your stuff, put your machine back in your van. If you have to clean with the Auric or a handheld orbital for the stairs, now bring that in. You've already pre-sprayed, you're done. Pack that back out in your vehicle and just make life easy on yourself. I mean, why kill yourself? I mean, it looks like you're coming in to do home demolition or something if you bring everything into the home, set it all up at the door, and then slowly, methodically go through each room. Oh my gosh. So, and again, I'm not picking on anybody, and I'm not pointing anyone out. If you think it's you, it might not be you. But I don't know. Words of wisdom. Keep things simple, and you'll be able to get through the jobs, but make sure you do quality work. Like here, I didn't go over it, but I didn't need it. Look at it. It looks beautiful. You could spend twice as long as I did, and you won't get it any cleaner. Look at right there where you walk. I'm going to hit these stairs in a minute. You can see it's lightening up beautiful in here. So there you go. That's it for this home. I'm going to go upstairs, knock out all these other rooms, and get to my next job.